Ladies and gentlemen, there is a silent enemy stealing your joy, your peace, and your strength, and that enemy is worry. It creeps in unnoticed, whispering doubts, magnifying problems, and draining the life out of your days. It convinces you that the future is something to fear, that you're not enough, that everything could go wrong. But I'm here to tell you today, worry is a lie. It is not your destiny. You were not born to live in dread, but to walk in peace, to live with courage, and to stand tall in faith. You don't have to stay chained to the heavy weight of anxiety. There is a better way, a freer way, a way filled with hope, strength, and serenity. You can stop worrying and you can start living not someday, but today. Let's begin. Worry is one of the greatest thieves of joy and peace in our lives. It disguises itself as responsibility, as planning, even as concern. But in truth, it drains us of energy, focus, and hope. It doesn't solve problems. It doesn't bring answers. It only weakens our hearts and clouds our vision. Worry is not a reflection of wisdom. It's a reflection of fear, and fear, when given room to grow, begins to shape our decisions, our relationships, and even our health. When you worry, you're using your God-given imagination to picture the worst instead of believing for the best. But you were not created to live like that. You were made for faith, not fear, for courage, not dread, for purpose, not panic. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its trouble. No, it empties today of its strength. It steals the beauty of this moment and replaces it with anxiety over a moment that hasn't even arrived. You can't control what happens tomorrow, but you can choose how you live today. And if you fill today with faith, then you're already stronger for whatever tomorrow brings. You see, life is too short, and your energy is too precious to waste on things you cannot change. What if you took all the energy you spend on worrying and redirected it into believing, into trusting that things will work out, that you will get through this, that there is a force of good working for you and not against you? Worry grows in a mind disconnected from peace, but peace isn't something you earn. It's something you choose. It's what happens when you surrender control to something greater than yourself. That's not weakness, my friend. That's wisdom. Because the truth is, there is a higher power that sees farther than you, knows more than you, and cares deeply for you. When you hand your burdens over to that divine strength, you don't become helpless. You become free. Free to live, to breathe, to create, to love. So I urge you, when that worry creeps in, when those what-ifs start playing in your mind, stop and shift your focus. Replace fear with faith. Speak words of confidence over your life. Remind yourself of the times you've made it through before. Feed your heart with encouragement. Stand on the truth that you are not alone in this life. God is with you. He has not brought you this far to leave you now. Worry is not your destiny. You were made to rise, not crumble, to walk boldly, not shrink back, to live each day with a heart full of hope and a mind full of peace. So take a breath. Let go of the weight. You don't have to carry it anymore. The power that made you is the same power that will carry you through. Believe that, trust that, live that, and worry will lose its grip on your life. The way you think shapes the way you live. If your mind is filled with fear, you'll walk in fear. If your thoughts are negative, your life will reflect that negativity. But if your mind is filled with hope, with confidence, with faith, then your life begins to move in a new direction. That's why I say, change your thoughts and you change your world. It all begins in the mind. The battles we fight each day against fear, doubt, anxiety, they are first won or lost in our thinking. Your mind is a powerful force, and what you feed it will grow. If you feed it worry, fear will flourish. But if you feed it faith, courage will rise up within you. You see, your thoughts are not just passing clouds. They are builders. They build your attitude, your habits, your perspective. A single thought can either hold you back or push you forward. The problem is, most people don't even realize how much power they give to negative thoughts. They let fear run loose. They dwell on what could go wrong. They keep replaying painful memories or imagining worst-case scenarios, and then they wonder why they feel tired, discouraged, or stuck. But here's the truth. You are not stuck. You are just focused in the wrong direction. When you learn to focus on possibilities instead of problems, on solutions instead of struggles, something starts to shift inside you. It's not about pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing what you give your energy to. You can acknowledge your problems without being consumed by them. You can face challenges without losing your peace, and it starts with what you allow in your mind. Each morning when you wake up, you have a choice. Will I feed my doubts, or will I feed my dreams? Will I focus on the pain, or will I look for the potential? The more you train your mind to think positively, the more natural it becomes. It takes practice, yes, but it's possible. When a negative thought enters your mind, don't entertain it. Replace it. Replace it with a word of truth, a memory of strength, a declaration of faith. Speak life over your future. Say things like, I am strong, I am able, I am blessed. I have what it takes. Things are working out for me. These may seem simple, but repeated often enough, they become the foundation of a whole new mindset. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the master of them. Take control. Be intentional. And remember, no matter what is happening around you, the real power lies in what is happening inside you. Change your thoughts, and you truly can change your world. Not someday, but today. Not later, but now. You have the power within you to shape a new story, one thought at a time. So many people are burdened not by what's happening today, but by what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. They carry the weight of regrets and the fear of what's to come. But life is not meant to be lived in the past or the future. It is meant to be lived right now in this very moment. Yesterday is over. It cannot be changed. Tomorrow has not yet arrived, but today, this moment, is a gift. That's why it's called the present. And when you truly begin to understand this, something powerful happens inside you. You let go of the unnecessary stress, and you step into peace. Living one day at a time doesn't mean you don't plan for the future. It means you stop trying to live in it. It means you stop worrying about things that haven't happened yet and may never happen at all. It means giving your full heart, your full attention, your full presence to the gift that is today. And the truth is, today is all you ever really have. This breath, this hour, this opportunity, it will never come again. So don't waste it wishing for yesterday or fearing tomorrow. Live it, cherish it, make it count. Some people live their whole lives waiting for the perfect moment. They say, I'll be happy when this happens. I'll be at peace when I get that. I'll start living when the conditions are just right. But friend, that's a trap. Because the only moment you have control over is now. Joy doesn't come from perfect circumstances. It comes from a peaceful mindset. Peace comes when you learn to be fully present, to trust God for tomorrow, and to accept today as a sacred opportunity. Each day is a fresh start, It's a blank page waiting for you to write something beautiful. Maybe yesterday was full of mistakes or pain or disappointment. That's all right. Yesterday has no power unless you bring it into today. Maybe tomorrow feels uncertain or scary. That's okay too, because when you get there, you'll have what you need. Right now, your only job is to live this day well, smile today, give your best today, love deeply today, forgive today, let go today, because today is where your life is happening. When you live one day at a time, life becomes lighter. You begin to notice the small joys, the sound of laughter, the warmth of the sun, the kindness of a stranger. You become more thankful, more focused, more alive. You stop missing moments because you're too distracted by things you can't control. You begin to live on purpose, so take a deep breath. Let the past be what it was. Let the future be what it will be, and choose, right here, right now, to live this day with peace, purpose, and joy. This is your moment, and it matters. There are moments in life when the weight feels too heavy, when the problems seem too big, and when the road ahead looks too uncertain. In those moments, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, even hopeless. But it's in those very times that we must remember, we were never meant to carry it all alone. There is a power greater than you and me, a divine strength that is always available, always present, and always caring. When you trust in that higher power, when you truly lean into it, something shifts. The burdens don't necessarily disappear, but they become bearable. The storm may not end right away, but suddenly you realize you are not standing in the rain alone. Trusting in a power greater than yourself is not weakness. It is wisdom. It's the realization that human strength is limited, but divine strength is infinite. It's choosing to believe that you are supported by something far bigger than the challenges you face. When you stop relying solely on your own strength and begin to draw from a source that never runs dry, peace begins to fill the places where anxiety once lived. Cast your cares upon him. The scripture says, "For he cares for you." That isn't just a poetic line, it's a lifeline. It means you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to hold everything together. You can release the fear, the doubt, the worry, and trust that you are held, that you are guided, that you are loved. When you put your trust in something greater, you no longer have to live in a state of constant control. Control creates tension. Trust brings release. Control says, "It all depends on me." Trust says, "I'm doing my best, and the rest is in bigger hands." That shift changes everything. It brings a calm that no circumstance can shake. It gives you the courage to keep going, even when the path is unclear. And let me tell you this, faith is not about never having fear. Faith is about choosing to believe even in the presence of fear. It's about saying, "I may not know how this will work out, but I know who walks with me." And that confidence, when rooted in trust, can carry you through anything. Storms may come, but your foundation will hold. Winds may blow, but your spirit won't break, because you are anchored to something eternal. So today, take a moment to let go. Whatever it is you've been carrying, whatever it is that's been keeping you up at night, hand it over. Speak it aloud if you must. "I trust you. I surrender this. I believe you're working even when I can't see it." And feel the peace that comes not from having everything solved, but from knowing you're not walking alone. That's the kind of trust that changes everything. The human mind is never still. It's always thinking, always processing, always absorbing. And if you're not filling it with something good, something positive, then something else will find its way in. Worry, fear, negativity, they rush in when your mind is left unguarded. That's why it's so important to be intentional about what you allow into your thoughts. Just like a garden needs to be planted with good seeds to keep out the weeds, your mind needs to be filled with faith, hope, and love so that doubt, fear, and anxiety have no room to grow. You see, nature abhors a vacuum. If you leave a space empty, something will fill it. So don't just try to stop thinking negative thoughts. Replace them. Replace them with affirmations of strength, with reminders of your blessings, with truths that lift your spirit. Every time a fearful thought enters, push it out with a word of faith. Every time worry tries to take over, speak words of gratitude. When your mind is filled with light, the darkness has no place to hide. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about shaping your reality through the lens of belief. What you focus on, you empower. If you focus on problems, they expand. If you focus on possibilities, your hope expands. A positive mind doesn't mean you deny that hard things exist. It means you believe that greater things are still possible, even in the middle of difficulty. It means choosing to fill your mind with peace even when life feels chaotic. The truth is, you have more control over your thoughts than you realize. You may not control every thought that enters, but you can decide which ones you entertain. You don't have to invite every fear to sit down and stay. You can choose to close the door and open a new one to peace. You can dwell on what builds you up instead of what tears you down, and the more you practice this, the stronger that mental muscle becomes. Start your mornings with intention. Don't let the world decide your mindset. Decide it for yourself. Read something uplifting. Speak a word of encouragement over your life. Say, today I will think thoughts of faith, not fear. I will choose joy over stress. I will look for the good in every situation. These small decisions build a strong foundation for your day, and when negativity tries to creep in, and it will, don't panic. Just go back to your center, breathe deeply, remind yourself of truth. Flood your mind with what is good, what is right, what is pure, because the more you fill your mind with positivity, the less space there is for anything else. You were never meant to live with a mind full of worry. You were meant to live with a heart full of peace. Guard your thoughts, fill them with light, and let your life be a reflection of the joy that flows from within. Fear often feels like a heavy fog, settling over the mind, clouding your vision, and making even the smallest step forward feel impossible. But fear, no matter how overwhelming it may seem, begins to lose its grip the moment you take action. You see, fear feeds on inactivity. The more you sit and think about what could go wrong, the more paralyzed you become. The more you rehearse every possible failure, the more your courage fades. But when you take even the smallest step forward, when you move in the direction of your goal or your solution, something powerful begins to happen. The fog starts to lift, confidence starts to rise, and fear begins to shrink. You don't have to conquer everything at once. You just have to move one action, one step. That's all it takes to start changing your state of mind. Action generates momentum, and momentum is what drives fear away. The mind loves motion. It feels progress, and that progress sends a signal to your spirit. I'm not stuck. I'm not helpless. I'm doing something about it. That alone can transform your entire attitude. So many people stay trapped in fear because they're waiting to feel brave before they act. But the truth is, courage doesn't come before action. It comes through action. You start doing the thing you fear, and in the doing, your confidence grows. You begin to realize that the monster in your mind was often far bigger than the reality in front of you. That presentation you were dreading, that decision you were delaying, that conversation you were avoiding, it's not as terrifying once you take that first bold step. There's a principle at work here. Your mind and your body are deeply connected. When you move your body toward a goal, your mind begins to align with purpose. Action clears confusion. It silences that inner critic and turns down the volume on doubt. Instead of sitting in fear, wondering what if, you begin to live in what's next. You move from reaction to creation. You stop being a prisoner of fear and start becoming a person of faith and forward motion. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by fear, don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't wait until you feel ready. Take a small, intentional step. Make the phone call. Write the first sentence. Take the walk. Ask the question. Apply for the opportunity. Whatever it is, just do something, because action tells fear, you don't own me. It says, I may feel afraid, but I refuse to live afraid. You were not created to live frozen in fear. You were made to rise, to move, to grow, and every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. Keep moving, keep doing, and you'll find that fear can't follow a moving target. Let action be your answer. Let movement be your miracle. Every day you wake up with a choice to focus on what's missing or to give thanks for what's already yours, and that single decision can shape the entire course of your day. Gratitude is not just a pleasant feeling. It is a powerful force that transforms your perspective, your mood, your relationships, and your outlook on life. When you choose to be grateful, you invite peace. When you start counting your blessings instead of your burdens, you shift your mind away from fear and move toward faith. Fear thrives in a heart that is focused on lack. It whispers, what if I don't have enough? What if things go wrong? What if I lose everything? But gratitude silences that voice. Gratitude says, look at all I have. Look at what I've come through. Look at how far I've already come. Gratitude grounds you in the truth that even in tough times, there is still good around you and within you. There is always something to be thankful for. It might be as simple as a sunrise, a breath, a kind word, a quiet moment. And when you start looking for those things, you begin to see more of them. Your heart opens. Your stress lightens. Your soul breathes. You see, the mind can't focus on fear and gratitude at the same time. They cannot exist in the same space. One will always push the other out. That's why gratitude is one of the most effective ways to overcome worry. It rewires your thinking. It takes your eyes off the unknown and puts them on what's real and present. It stops you from rehearsing what's wrong and starts you celebrating what's right. Begin each morning by giving thanks, not just in passing, but with intention. Say it aloud. I'm thankful for this day. I'm thankful for my life. I'm thankful for the people I love, for the strength I have, for the opportunities ahead. You might be surprised how quickly your mind begins to lift. Problems you once magnified begin to shrink. Fears that once consumed you lose their power, because now your heart is filled with appreciation, and appreciation invites peace. Gratitude doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you choose to see the good even when things are imperfect. It means you believe that blessings are present even if they're hard to see. It keeps your spirit strong. It keeps your eyes open. It makes you resilient. You're no longer living from a place of fear. You're living from a place of abundance. That's a life of strength. That's a life of joy. So every time you feel worry creeping in, pause and give thanks. List your blessings, speak your gratitude, and feel how quickly peace returns, because gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a weapon. It is a choice to say, "Fear, you have no place here. I've got too much to be thankful for." There is something deeply reassuring in knowing that you are not facing life alone. When challenges come, when the nights are long and the road ahead seems uncertain, there is a comfort that anchors the soul. The truth that God is on your side. You are not walking through life by chance or luck. You are guided. You are supported. You are held by a power greater than any obstacle, greater than any fear, greater than any storm you will ever face. This isn't just about belief. It's about relationship. It's about walking hand in hand with the one who knows the way even when you do not. Life can be hard. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when you don't see a way forward. But in those moments, lift your eyes and remind yourself, God has not brought you this far to leave you now. His strength is your strength. His wisdom is your guide. His love is your foundation. When you begin to see life not as a lonely struggle, but as a divine partnership, something changes inside you. You no longer carry the pressure of doing everything on your own. You find peace, not because everything is easy, but because you know that God walks with you through it all. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be perfect. You don't even need to feel strong all the time. What you need is trust. The quiet, steady kind of trust that says, I may not understand this, but I believe I am not alone. That belief becomes your anchor. It holds you steady when the winds blow. It lifts your spirit when the weight of the world tries to bring you down. You begin to face each day not with fear but with confidence, because the Creator of the universe is walking right beside you. This truth is not for special moments only. It's for every ordinary day. When you're driving to work, when you're washing dishes, when you're trying to figure out the next step. He is there. When you feel invisible, when you feel overlooked, when you're crying in silence, He is there. He is not distant or indifferent. He is near and He cares. And the more you talk to Him, the more you listen, the more you open your heart to His presence, the more aware you become of His guidance and His peace. So, when worry tries to grip your heart, when fear tries to make you forget who you are, remember this: you are never alone. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. God is on your side. He is for you, not against you. And if He is with you, there is nothing you cannot face. Walk forward in faith, knowing that wherever you go, whatever you face, you are covered, you are cared for, and you are never, ever alone. Fear can enter your heart quietly, like a shadow at dusk. It doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, questioning your worth, your strength, your future. It sneaks into your thoughts and tells you that you won't make it, that you're not enough, that everything could fall apart. But there is something stronger than fear, something that has the power to silence its lies and fill your heart with confidence and courage. That power is faith. Faith is not blind. Faith sees deeper. Faith doesn't ignore reality. It simply chooses to believe that there is something greater than the reality you can see. Faith is the antidote to fear. Where fear says, what if it goes wrong? Faith says, but what if it goes right? Where fear sees a mountain, faith sees a path. Where fear sees lack, faith sees provision. Fear focuses on the problem. Faith looks to the promise. You see, fear paralyzes, but faith mobilizes. Fear closes the door, but faith swings it wide open. When you begin to feed your faith by reading truth, by speaking life, by trusting in something bigger than your circumstances, fear begins to shrink. It can't survive in the same space as faith. You don't overcome fear by fighting it head on. You overcome it by strengthening your faith, because when your faith is strong, your fear is starved. The two cannot grow together. One always wins, and the one you feed is the one that will live. So feed your faith daily. Remind yourself of what's good, of what's true, of all the ways you've already overcome. Look back and see how far you've come. Recall the battles you've already won. Remember the prayers that were answered, the doors that opened, the times you thought you couldn't make it, but you did. Faith doesn't require you to have all the answers. It asks you to take one step, even when the path is unclear. It asks you to trust that there's a way, even when you can't see it yet. And that trust, that step, is what turns fear into fuel. It transforms stumbling blocks into stepping stones. What was meant to stop you becomes the very thing that strengthens you. When fear tries to rise, don't let it have the final word. Speak your faith. Say, I may not know how, but I know who. Say, I will not be defeated. I will not back down. I will walk in faith, not fear. And keep moving forward, even if the steps are small, even if the road feels uncertain. Keep moving, because faith is more than a feeling. It is a force. It is the light that breaks through the darkness. It is the strength that carries you through every storm. And when you live in faith, you don't just survive, you rise. You grow. You become everything you were meant to be. Let fear fall away. Let faith lead the way. What you see in your mind shapes how you feel, how you act, and ultimately how you live. Your imagination is not a meaningless daydream. It is one of the most powerful tools you possess. When you visualize fear, failure, and disaster, your body responds as if those things are already happening. Your heart rate rises, your stress increases, and your confidence disappears. But when you begin to train your mind to see peace, to imagine success, to picture yourself overcoming every obstacle, something incredible begins to happen. Your inner world starts to transform, and your outer world begins to follow. The mind works like a movie screen. Whatever film you keep playing on that screen will eventually start to direct your life. That's why it's so important to guard your mental imagery. If you constantly picture the worst case scenario, don't be surprised if anxiety takes root. But if you begin to see yourself rising, smiling, speaking confidently, handling challenges with grace, your subconscious mind accepts that vision and begins to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with it. Visualization is not make-believe, it is mental preparation. Athletes use it, performers use it, successful people in every field use it. They see the win before the win happens. They see the goal being achieved before the first step is even taken. You can do the same when you're about to face a difficult situation, a meeting, a decision, a challenge. Pause and take a moment. Close your eyes. Picture yourself calm. Picture yourself centered. Picture yourself victorious. See the conversation going well. See the solution arriving. See your heart at peace, your mind clear, your soul anchored. And when those fearful thoughts try to interrupt, don't fight them. Replace them. Take control of the scene playing in your mind. Choose a new picture, one filled with hope, one that reflects your strength, one that aligns with your faith. Your imagination can become a sanctuary, a sacred space where peace lives, no matter what's happening around you. This takes practice, but it's worth it. Day by day, you'll find yourself responding to stress with calm, approaching problems with clarity, and walking through life with a quiet confidence. Because in your mind, you've already seen the victory. You've already walked through the fire and come out stronger, so every morning take time to visualize a peaceful outcome. See yourself blessed. See yourself thriving. See yourself letting go of fear and embracing life. The more you see it, the more you believe it, and the more you believe it, the more it becomes your reality. Your mind is the canvas. Paint it with peace. Fill it with faith. Let the vision of victory guide your steps and lift your spirit. Because when you see it clearly, you move toward it boldly, and your life will begin to rise to meet the picture you hold within. And now go forward with faith in your heart, courage in your spirit, and the unshakable belief that with God beside you, nothing is impossible, because you were born not to fear life, but to conquer it.